is like not studying for an exam in school. I mean, you're present, you're gonna check the boxes, but clearly you're missing some key information. The product, it's not good looking, it's not easy on the eyes. The usability rate, it's low. This is like snipping a bird's wings. You're neutering the dog. Your kangaroo ain't hopping. What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today, I thought we would double dip. Overpriced icons. We're looking at the wingers. All encompassing. All the left wingers, all the right wingers. If you enjoy the content, the daily grind, you like this series, like the video. Stop what you're doing. Count down with me. We're bringing positive vibes. And we kind of need to start with positivity because I'm going to tear apart 5 icons. You do not want to invest in these players. Do not buy. That's the point that I'm stressing. You let me know most overpriced icons you've used. I'm gonna take the best comments. We're gonna apply it to future videos. We still have to talk about a lot of the center mids, the cams, the defenders. Just in general, I'm listening. We have our discussion board. The beautiful discussion where we have respectable, logical arguments. We always golden goal when doing objectives. And we don't watch replays. The majority of the time. Part of that group. Jot this down, make a mental note. Criteria: all players will be an icon. Must be a winger default position. That means all the left wingers, all the right wingers. One video. These players are going to be in rotations. And we're looking at price versus output. And when I say in rotations, just to track back, that means that we see them used. We're not taking obscure icons. There really aren't obscure icons. The big 100, the top 100, all 100. We know who they are. We know what they offer. Analogies are going to be hidden today. And if my eyes look a little tired, they are. I already know you're gonna comment down below and say Mike's on some greens. He's feeling real organic right now. So be it. I recycle daily. Gigs. 390,000 coins. And before I get into this proper, because it's gonna start to sound personal, I need to start with a disclaimer. Let me just reconfirm. I love Giggs as a player in real life. Big fan. Worked his tail off on the actual pitch. We good? Got that out of the way? Good. Cool. Giggs is simply not qualified in FIFA to compete. He's really not that fast. If you're looking at the agility and the balance, don't expect that quick a turning, especially not at the upper echelon. He has 3-star skills. He's a 2-star weak foot. These would normally be detrimental to any position, but specifically for your creative role for wingers, you need innovators, game changers, inventors. This is your creatives. You're not getting issued a patent or a trademark with this subpar critical thinking. Giggs can't really spoil because he was never fresh. That is a reference on food starting out in a good place and then going bad. But that's the way that I'm trying to pinpoint it. If you're new to the channel, this is how we talk. It's a little bit different. Showing up with Giggs is like not studying for an exam in school. I mean, you're present, you're gonna check the boxes, but clearly you're missing some key information. And maybe the worst part, Giggs is nearly 400,000 coins. And you're not even getting a player that's really average amongst some of the higher rated guys that are wingers or in this price point. He's subpar. I'm looking at his counterparts. Players aligned in these same margins, the same spectrum. Giggs should cost 100K, and that's really just based on rarity. For all the sneakerheads out there, this is as if Nike did a new drop. It's limited release. The product, it's not good looking. It's not easy on the eyes. The usability rate, it's low, but it's still gonna cater or have a certain price tag due to hype because of the lack of access. That's how I feel about Giggs. Nedved. 570,000 coins. And this is always give or take. It's kind of debatable. A lot of people love trading icons. And I want to start out by saying I'm a Nedved stan, but I'm really rotating, supplying early adopter every single year on the baby variation. Not necessarily as much with the mid-level, and definitely not touching the prime, as you can see from this video. The man has a lot of stats, but you cannot use him as a winger. You've completely lost the plot for that position, and you're trying to force Nedved to play as someone on the wing. It doesn't naturally work or integrate. He's just not fast enough. This wouldn't be a Shakespeare rendition you're interested in watching, yet alone being a part of. I will say this, you can still play Nedved as a central-based center attacking mid. It's a lot of centers in that statement. We're not talking about basketball. I want to make that type of claim because I just don't want you to get into the likes of a 4-2-2, which has 2 cams, and believe that Nedved's going to be a real asset. That's not what I'm making a case for. But if you wanted a number 10, a little classic maestro, or someone that can facilitate, find the key passes, his shot-taking capability, oh, tastes so good. feels good. He has that in his locker. Weak foot. Equal footed. Super technically gifted. I'm not taking that away from him. But with the lack of pace, you can't have him as a winger. We're getting way too many upgrades, and you're paying a lot for a niche player that it's hard to argue he's better than other small, innovative, creative technicians. I don't really put him in that category. He's just solid overall. And I don't think defensively you're going to get what you're looking for if you're trying to run him as a center mid and turn him into a box for box. So he ends up being in between a bunch of positions and being maybe average or slightly above average depending where. You're paying the hefty tag, but you're just not getting a specialist in any regard. And for many players, they're going to be a specialist. One role on the virtual pitch that is going to allow them to maximize success. That's what you hope for. We have exceptions, of course, when we start talking about some of the utility guys. But this Nedved's not that. Figo, 1.3 million coins and some helpers. He's not bad, but he's definitely not next level. He's not great. He's not fantastic. He's not God tier. You don't insert a bunch of superlatives. And when you look at the stats, you can pull them up anywhere. You can read along with yours truly. They have to be fraudulent. I've played with Figo multiple occasions. 93 acceleration, 91 sprint speed, 91 agility. I don't believe you. EA, I've used them. Why doesn't that translate? Why doesn't it carry over? You could say his balance isn't perfect, but his dribbling is also fantastic. And his balance isn't bad. It's not negative. It's still in the 80s. But he just doesn't have it. That wow factor, that icon status. I want it to be there, and you're paying for it, clearly. But he is not going to be a top 3 goal scorer for you throughout the weekend. For you guys that have used them, you let me know. Any version of Figo that has been a standout primetime performer and has made other players seem lackluster. Just average. He's taken their showcase. He's eaten up with those minutes. Good PT. It's simple. This is like comparing a protein bar to a standard chocolate bar. To many other protein bars, and in this case, Figo to other icons that are in this position, he'd be middle tier, maybe even slightly middle upper tier. But if you started comparing him to everyone that's in a similar price point or that's high rated, nah, there's no comparison. I don't believe you. And it's not because of the stats. I could list them, I could read them, I could repeat them, I could memorize them. It would not change that his output does not match. He also has high-low work rates, which is the best for attacking players, wingers, strikers, cams. That's what I'm looking for. Activity. Guys that want to get forward, score goals, be involved in progressing the play. Give me another option. This man could be on a Paper Talk episode with Hugh Wizzy. Side note, congratulations to Hugh. Saw you hit 200K. Hand clap. If you guys know who Hugh Wizzy is, you better drop a comment down below. Running back for the main man, huge Arsenal supporter. Been involved with the kickoff before that with Kick TV. Used to live in New York City, now back in London. A good friend of mine and someone that I only wish the most positive of vibes. That's really what our channel's about, even as we talk about overpriced wingers and say don't buy these guys. I'm still trying to help your pockets out. Henry. I swear he's going to be in every negative icon based video. I can give you 63 reasons you won't enjoy this foot item. And he does not resemble Henry on the actual pitch. Quarter to a mil, 775,000 coins is my current estimate. But 63 balance? We've discussed Henry all year, previous years. He's just clunky and it destroys his output, mainly at the higher levels. If you're an elite plus player, even a gold 1+ player, he's not gonna get the job done. And it genuinely makes me sad. This is like snipping a bird's wings. You're neutering the dog. Your kangaroo ain't hopping. I'm not really sure that one's gonna work. I don't think I've ever seen a kangaroo, and I've definitely never been to Australia. Maybe a fish struggling in water. It doesn't make sense, it doesn't align. Henry should never have any issues dribbling, taking on players, doing it effortlessly. Why am I complaining about his side-to-side movement? Why am I complaining about him not turning precisely, not having that in his locker? You can let me know if you've used Henry in almost any year of FIFA. I can't see how you would not complain. If you're a fan, if you respect the man, what he did on the actual pitch. If you're an Arsenal supporter, you have to be heavily disappointed. You might be sad like yours truly, even though I don't support Arsenal. I just feel when we discuss Henry, he should be in a similar category to the Cruyffs or the Eusebios. Some of the top quality attackers. when we're looking at icon. Maybe not quite the Pele or the R9s, but he should still be in some sort of equation. And he's not. He's simply not. If I was making a list of all the best attackers, if we're looking at icon specific, I don't know if Henry's getting in the top 15, and there really aren't that many. Probably not in the top 20. How does that happen? New icon, Beckham. Almost 1 million coins. Most of this year he's hovered well over 1 million coins. He's unplayable as a winger. 100% you cannot use him as a winger. I know some of you will argue playing him as a center mid, but even then, he's not special. If we want to talk about his impact on the sport, his football and boots, the impact on MLS, impact on the culture, who he is, everything is iconic. That I could do really well. Lots of compliments. But if we're just discussing FIFA, 3-star weak foot, 3-star skill moves, he's not gifted with the proper allocation of statistics that are going to allow you to be overpowered or influential or dominant or dictate this and dictate that. You are buying a designer item for the marketing and the branding, not for the upgraded product. You're not getting better padding in your jacket. It's not gonna fit you more snug. You're not getting that cashmere. This is gonna be full on cotton. I'm happy to have him in the game, as with anyone else. It's a big reason that he's been able to kind of hold a higher price tag than he really deserves. Beckham's in the same category with the Lampards and the Gerrards in FIFA. Make your decision based on that. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to drop some love on the video. Let me know what you're saying in the comments about some of these overpowered wingers or even other positions, because we will take your comment, throw that on screen. If you're new to the channel, it's free to subscribe. We've been uploading daily. If you want gameplay, twitch.tv/Mike LaBelle, and I have a lot more content coming out right here. ASAP.